Are live and in full effect right here in Los Angeles, California, in the beautiful and very fertile and warm green silhouette of emerald San Fernando Valley. What's up, y'all? It's your boy OMD 300, aka Doc Savage, the man of bronze, corner store podcast live stream episode. We here, y'all. We a little bit late today. Had some things to do. Got on here just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. The world is at war. Our current president, if you want to call him that, is absolutely losing his mind. You heard me. Losing his mind.
So Reebok's got this whole ad campaign.
I'm going to let you see what I'm talking about in just a second. But just to give some context on what I'm talking about, it's to the point now, ladies and gentlemen, it is to the point now that we can obviously say that the people that are running this government, at least the people who have decided to become the government's representatives, the ones who supposedly won this last electoral, whatever you want to call it. I think I call it now a bunch of plays. There's nothing but a bunch of acting going on in the politics of our country. All of the people from the squad, the whatever that Cortez, the senator chick from the squad, and all of these women that are congressmen or progressives, all of the world's a stage, and our politics and our political spectrum in this country is nothing but a bunch of movie scripts. It's nothing but bullshit. Our current representative as the head of this country, or at least the executive officer of this country, he seems to think that the United States is some kind of a business instead of a country full of people that that have social needs that need to be met in order for them to have halfway decent lives in this country, has decided to just go ahead and lie to the American people as much as he possibly can because they realize that they've Spengalied. And what I mean by the word Spengali is that is a cultist word, a word that says that certain people will follow you even if they know it's going to be to their own detriment. This happened back in the day when a preacher, one who was absolutely insane by the name of Jim Jones, who had a large congregation of people. I think it was in several states that people fell in love with this Pied Piping preacher that told them all these different things about Jesus and God and the religions and all that, to where these people got so enamored with this man that when the federal agents back in the day decided to go ahead and investigate him, he said that the government was against him and wanted to kill him, and that he had bought some land in Guyana, and he had named that land Jonestown, where all of his congregation could live and thrive and create a utopia in the middle of the Guyanese jungle. When the walls started to close in and some of his cultist followers started to realize that the leader that they had been following was not only a narcissist, a perverted sexual deviant, an absolute insane murdering killer, they wanted to leave Guyana. Well, at that point, if you had decided to take all your life savings and give it away, sell everything you own and put it into the buying of the land in Guyana, and actually took the trip on that dirt road into that area they were going to call Jonestown, and you found out there was nothing but tents and huts there, and you decided to leave, it was too late because you'd already committed to this psychopath's crazy theories. What's happening, man? What's up, my man? Sincere. Bajan Farrow is in the live chat. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Corner Store Podcast. And he decided to keep those people at arms. He had a sergeant at arms. and they had weapons, and he had purchased people that could keep all of the followers in the area. When the wall started to close in on this cultist, this cult leader, Mr. Jim Jones, back in the 1980s, he decided to put cyanide in Kool-Aid and give it to all of his parishioners, all of the people who were members to his church, in a mass suicide that killed over 600 people, including children. If you do not think that Donald Trump is a cultist in the same vein as Jim Jones, who killed 600 of his followers in the middle of the Guyanese jungle with cyanide-laced Kool-Aid, you're fucking crazy. Hence, where the term comes from, where you say they're drinking the Kool-Aid. Where do you think that term comes from? That term has created, and that metaphor was created in regards to Jim Jones killing almost a little bit over 600 of his followers when they decided they didn't want to be in his cult no more. There's a movie about that. I think it was starring one of my favorite actors, Powers Booth. Powers Booth, who was in the movies like Extreme Prejudice. Powers Booth was in Sin City. He played the corrupt judge in Sin City. Powers Booth is an amazing actor who perished probably about a decade ago now. He died. He didn't die. I don't think he died in a plane crash or anything. I think he just died of old age and medical complications. But Powers Booth played Jim Jones in the movie about the Jim Jones cult. And I'm going to tell you right now, all these people that are followers of Donald Trump are in a cult. There's no doubt about it. And I'm going to show you why that is. We got a lot of sound to get to, so let's get to that. For those who are in the live chat, thank you for being here. Remember to become subscribers to Corner Store, to Corner Store TV. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell that's right next to it, so you'll know when you get notified when I have content live streaming or videos that I drop. I just dropped a freestyle today in my shorts. It's actually pretty good. I thought it was funny as shit. Some sexual innuendos in that freestyle. So ladies, please don't be offended. You're going to laugh your ass off. And also, please become a member of the channel. You're going to get take advantage of a lot of cool things like stickers and live chat stickers and posts and things of that nature. And also go to my community page at the top. When you go to the Corner Store TV's YouTube page, it has a community page. Go and hit that, and you'll see upcoming things that's going to be on Corner Store Television, or also music that's coming out and things of that nature. So please, by all means, join the channel. So let's go, man. Let's hear what the hell some of this psychotic. Well, first off, well, let's go with the Donald Trump stuff, and then we're going to go back to hey, we're gonna go back to that, and we're gonna go to what Donald Trump has been saying these last few days in regards to the Iran war that he started, and has said he decimated their country, communications, everything. And if that's the truth, how are you communicating with them? You're saying they're coming to the table to surrender, and you're putting out these 15 conditions that they must meet. But the Iranians are saying they gave you one of these. So I don't understand. Make it make sense, Trump.
We were planning tomorrow on shooting down some of their power plants, and we're going to hold that up. Hopefully we won't have to do it. And hopefully we can make a deal that's good for all of us.
So the US President Donald Trump claims Iran wants to make a deal to end the war. So what does this all mean, and how did we get here? Well, at the weekend, Donald Trump gave Iran an ultimatum: open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours, or the US would bomb its power stations.
Bullshit.
But as that deadline approached and global markets opened, Trump, true to his form, backed down.
And so we're giving it 5 days, and then we're Going to see where that takes us. So we are now having really good discussions. They started last night,
Bullshit.
and I think they're very good.
The Speaker of Iran's parliament said the US had requested a meeting for the coming weekend, but that he hadn't responded. In a post on X, he said no negotiations with America had taken place, that this was fake news intended to manipulate financial and oil markets and to escape the quagmire in which America and Israel are trapped. Later, the president, speaking to reporters on the tarmac in Florida, said that Iran and the US had agreed to 15 major points.
Bullshit.
We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces.
So what does this mean for an end to the war? Well, we don't really know. With both sides contradicting one another, it's hard to know if this is a real development or a political play by the US.
Let me tell you something right now. That was a report from ABC Australian News. The broadcast company obviously is an American broadcast company, but they obviously have affiliates all around the world, and ABC Australia just made that report. And Donald Trump is lying through his fucking teeth, okay? A motherfucker is sending your kid. If my child's in the military, I have a 28-year-old son in the military. By the grace of God, because I know God is real and he's always going to protect me and my family, my son is stationed in the VA in Virginia. And that's where his ship is docked right now. I don't think they're in Virginia. They may have already left port. I think they're doing a lot of their traveling in the Caribbean, which is great because his fleet has not been deployed to the Med. And let me tell you something. This son of a bitch got troops going now. He's got 82nd Airborne. I'm ex-US Army. I'm a field artillery soldier. I used to fire cannons for a living. 13 Bravo. Let's go. The king of battle. And 82nd Airborne is some of our elite fighters. The most elite fighters in the U.S. Army is the 10th Mountaineers out of here, Fort Ord, California. U.S. Army Rangers. I forget, they're in Louisiana. I think it's Fort Polk. I'm not sure if I remember correctly. I remember they used to have Ranger schools in Fort Polk, Louisiana, if I remember correctly. Then you have 82nd Airborne. You have 101st Screaming Eagles. Those are rappel soldiers, and they're considered airborne as well, but they jump out of helicopters. And those are some of our tough guys. And at the top of that heap is Delta Force. For those who don't know, Delta Force is our elite U.S. Army soldiers. Delta Force, when you call them in, they're going to take your ass out. Most of these soldiers are going to take you out, but they sent an 82nd Airborne, and they're thinking about making small jumps with small detachments of soldiers to try to knock out the ability of the Iranians to control the Strait of Hormuz. And they've only been doing that with a small contingent of boats. Supposedly, the U.S. has knocked out all their main ships, all their warships, except for their fast-moving ships. And if this was World War II, you can consider some of those fast-moving ships like PT boats. PT boats were used. John F. Kennedy, the president of the United States, used to be the commander of a PT boat in World War II, PT 109, which was subsequently sunk during a battle, which left President Kennedy at the time, who was Ensign Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken. They were marooned on a small desert island after their ship was sunk. They got to this small island where they were marooned for several weeks before they were finally rescued. And he was not a prisoner of war, but he was injured in battle, JFK. Donald Trump dodged his way out of going to Vietnam and all other preceding battles that we had. So he's a coward, and he's no way, shape, or form is presidential at all. There's no reason why this man is even president of the United States. And this is some of the other psychotic and absolutely fucking shit this fucker has said in the last few weeks.
After the appalling lines and massive disruptions at major airports nationwide last weekend, I am again demanding that Democrats in Congress immediately end their disgraceful shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security and restore the full funding for airport security and the TSA. They are holding it up because they want to take care of illegal immigrants coming into our country. They want to take care of criminals that are in sanctuary cities. They want to take care of transgender for everybody, literally the mutilization of our children.
Bullshit.
Men and women's sports. But what they don't want to do is give us anything to do with citizenship for voting or voter ID. And I'm suggesting strongly to the Republican Party, don't make any deal on anything. The most important thing we can have is what's called the Save America Act. Don't make any deal on anything unless you include voter ID, and you have to be a citizen to vote. You have to show citizenship to vote. Very easy to do. It's very insulting when they say people can't do it because they don't know how to do it. Anybody that can't do it, I think it's a very insulting thing to say. The Democrats are fully to blame with the struggle of the great American public is going through at the airports. They're going through a big struggle right now, and we just put ICE in charge, and they're helping TSA, the agents, and they're working together so far very well. He actually suggested that in the airports they take off their masks, and they did that. In the airports, I didn't like. I'm a big believer in the mask because we have, Biden allowed hundreds of thousands of killers into our country. We're rapidly getting them out, by the way. But they would go after these people if they knew exactly who they were. But in the airports, it's different. I didn't love the look in the airport as you get off the plane. So I made a request and they agreed to it. So they're not going to be doing that. We will also bring out, if we don't have enough, we will bring out the National Guard and, where we need it to help out at the airports. But we're not going to let.
This man is absolutely fucking insane. He caused the government shutdown. He stopped TSA from being paid as well as all the other government workers. Government workers are leaving their positions in droves. They're not even waiting to be forced out like when Doge was forcing people out and forcing certain people to do early retirement. And it just so happens to be all the employment of minorities that they're forcing out. They're even trying to make TSA workers who happen to be Latino or African American or Black or any other nationality. They're trying to force them out of TSA because the rumor is that the Republicans in MAGA, the politicians, believe that people of color who happen to be TSA will let certain individuals in the country, not illegally, but they won't scrutinize their luggage or watch those people because they're trying to let people in the country that's going to do harm to so-called American citizens. And we know what American citizens he's talking about, and we at least know what color he's talking about. This is the president of the United States, everybody. This is the president of the United States. This is the dude that's 70-something odd million of you fucking idiots. And I'm not even talking to the racist white people or even the white people who don't consider themselves racist and just think that they were voting their conscience and they were voting the right person in. I don't understand where y'all have the gall to believe that he was the right person. You hear what he said. Anybody that would talk shit about somebody who's retarded or has a disability, he's done that on national television. And you call that presidential and you think he's worthy of being the leader of this country? That dude is insane. What it is today people are pieces of shit. And I'm talking about everybody. If you voted for him, you don't have any morals. You like the fact that there's some fucking piece of shit up there saying anything that he wants because that's what you want to do. You would love to go in the middle of a Walmart or in the middle of a store and just call everybody names and just say all because you're at home sad in your little world thinking that everything is against you. So you want to put a psychopath in office that's going to do everything and say everything that you love to be able to say with no filter. You love to be. That's why you got all these troll ass Karens and Kens coming out everywhere trying to tell people. One just got his ass whooped the other day. One troll and Ken just got his ass whooped the other day trying to tell Alan Rickman. For those who don't know who Alan Rickman is, go watch the new episodes of Reacher on Amazon. You've seen Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman is a huge white actor, cool ass dude too. I love Alan Richter. I've never met him. I've seen interviews. He hates Trump. He hates bullshit. He hates racism. He does. That motherfucking guy. And let me tell you something. Alan Rickman, just like any other artist who's tried to make it, forget about him being in shape. Forget about what you think of him now after you've known him as a star of Reacher and all these movies he's been in. He was just in a new movie called War Machine. If you didn't know who Alan Rickman is, there's a movie out right now called War Machine that's on Netflix. That's Alan Rickman. But if you watch the show Reacher, he's the true antithesis of what Reacher's character is. I don't know why Tom Cruise wanted to be Jack Reacher in the movies. He's 5. He wears fucking. Look, Tom Cruise wants to be a superhero, only being 5'6", 5'7". I understand. He's not as short as Kevin Hart per se, but I'm sure you can tell Tom Cruise would love to be taller. That's why he plays these bigger than life characters. Jack Reacher was a character he should have left alone. I'm glad they started a TV series where Alan Rickman could play what Jack Reacher actually looks like. I read one of the books. The Reacher books are dope. The Reacher books are dope. That's the reason why Tom Cruise read those books and said, I'm going to make this character, bring this character to life. You're not Jack Reacher, Tom Cruise. I get it. And I understand you know, you're an actor. You think because you're acting chops, you can make this believable. It was not. You're better as Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible movies than you'd ever be as Jack Reacher. But anyway, I digress. Alan Rickman, look up the name. Alan Rickman beat some guy's ass in his neighborhood in front of his 2 sons when they were riding motorcycles in their neighborhood. This man was with 2 young boys, probably no more than 10 or 11 years old, on small mini bikes that looked like his Ducati. They were small mini Ducatis. And why in the fuck would this guy jump in front of Rickman, in front of his 2 boys, and tell him he's going too fast in the neighborhood when you know goddamn well he's with his 2 kids and they were going 20, 30 miles? The fucking, in the video, the speedometer, the speedometer on his motorcycle said 23 miles an hour. And this is before the guy jumped in the middle of the street and tried to stop him. And he even asked the guy, are you drunk? What's happening is if you go on TikTok, Instagram, fucking YouTube and go to the stories or just search Karens and Kens all over the country telling people what they should and shouldn't be doing. You can't fish here. You can't skateboard here. You can't be in this park. You can't have a picnic. You people are going to start getting your asses handed to you. You know what? Alan Rickman's a big, giant white dude. What's happening, man? Shout out to everybody on the live stream. I try to always stop what I'm saying and say hello to everybody on the lives who come and holler at me. Shout out to my man, Marcus Banks, a.k.a. Big Demetrius in the building from Pennsylvania. Got my man Bijan in the building. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Sincere is in New Jersey as well. These are some of my biggest supporters. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here on the live chat. Welcome to Corner Store Podcast live stream. And if you didn't know, you guys, star of the Amazon show, Alan Rickman, beat up one of his neighbors who tried to say he was driving too fast in their neighborhood. The guy was Karen and Kennan to where he got his ass slapped in his damn face. Why do I keep getting it? I'm getting, man, all of these guys, I'll be getting the craziest messages from all these places. I've been blocking. It's so crazy when all of these companies, when your phone number or your email gets out there, these people go absolutely insane. I don't need no car insurance. I don't need no fucking car insurance. I don't know how I block and block. I've put on apps where you can block these fucking spam calls and texts, and it just don't work. These motherfuckers are so sophisticated with this shit. They will get through. You can spam them. You can unsubscribe. You can block. You can do all that. And guess what? The messages just keep coming. This world is fucked, man. This world is fucked. When an actor, a 6'4", 245-pound, humongously muscled white dude is riding at low speed through his own neighborhood, and you jump in front of his bike, damn near knocking him off his bike, what do you fucking think's gonna happen? He's gonna beat your ass. And he's with his 2 kids. He asked the dude, he said, bro, are you drunk? He said, why'd you jump in front of my bike? You're riding too fast through this neighborhood. He said, I'm with my 2 sons. What are you talking about? And he just kept going off on Rickman. And see, what the problem is these people don't realize not everybody's not just going to stand there and say, I'm going to call the cops. They're going to lay your ass out. He beat the shit out. And watch this pussy motherfucker find out that he's Alan Rickman, and he found out already, and he's already thinking about taking civil action. You know he's going to try to sue him because the fucking cops threw this shit out. It was like, bro, you should have never did what you did. All that man was doing was defending himself. Oh, you from Brooklyn. My bad, bro. Man, my bad. My bad. I just read that shit. Man, I can't see shit, man. Y'all motherfuckers be wanting me to put my glasses on. I remember you said you was from Brooklyn. I'll be forgetting where everybody is from. The only reason why I know Marcus is from PA because he kept hammering in my head over all of these live streams. He go, yeah, man, I'm in Pennsylvania, man. I ain't in New York, man. I'm in Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? And I know he ain't in Philly or none of the big cities. He's in a small town. That's how much he's been hammering in my head. So now I remember Sincere is in Brooklyn, New York. Sincere is in Brooklyn, New York, for sure. From now on, I'm trying my best not to fuck that up. I'm trying to get that sound on what happened with Rickman. Hold on, man. I know I saved it somewhere here. I know I did. Or did I? I don't think I did. Well, that's all good. But just to prove how crazy and insane. Oh, here it is. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. Check this out.
New information has come out about Reacher star Allen, who social media is mad at for putting the beats on his neighbor. Come to find out, his neighbor started it. As you guys know, the video shows the actor putting the beats on his neighbor in front of 2 kids. Well, the neighbor only admitted half the truth. He claims he flicked him off because he kept driving his motorcycle loud in the quiet neighborhood,
that's a lie.
and that's why he got beat up. That's cap. The real reason he got beat up is because he walked up on Allen and pushed him off the bike twice. After he pushed him, he gave him the beats. Now you still have some on social media saying that they feel like he went too far because even if bro laid hands on him first, he shouldn't have kept on, beating on bro while he was down.
Shut the hell up, man.
Yeah, y'all would have hate me. You sticking your middle finger at me and my children, then you push me off the bike twice, and you think you're not finna catch the hands?
Come on.
I think we really live in a society now where everybody feels like actions don't have some sort of consequence. Because why are you putting your hands on me? New information has come out about.
That was reported by the homie on TikTok named Freek, and he reported that, and that's the accurate report. Everybody in the live chat, and I know the 2 cats in the live chat, Sincere, my man Demetrius, from Sincere from Brooklyn, respectable, to my homeboy Demetrius from Pennsylvania. Tell me what you think. Somebody impedes your fucking progress by going through your day and tell you can't do something by actually took their hands on you. Let's just give you an example. You in the subway in BK, Sincere, and you just walk and listen to music. You looking at your phone and you just came on the platform and some guy, you can't come on this platform walking around like that and just touches you and pushes you in your chest. First off, you're going to look up, you're going to take your earphones out. You'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? And he starts telling you, you can't do this here on the platform. And he pushes you again. Probably dude going to get his boom lowered on him right there. Would you agree? I'll wait. And everybody in the chat, would you agree? You're going to lay the beats on this nigga. I don't care how big he is. I don't care what he talking about. You don't touch people. First off, never jump into the street. I'll tell you what I could have did. You guys have been on live stream here before when I've had my windows open in my crib here. And you've heard this dude driving up and down the street on a mini bike. And I've mentioned it. Thank God he doesn't do that, or whoever this weirdo is don't do that all the time. We don't know where he lives. I'm thought about getting in my car and following him before to see where he stay, so I could take some speakers and play loud music in front of this nigga's house because he's a retard. He look like this nigga's not a young man. I'm expecting when I go outside to see like a 18 or 16-year-old. This nigga's like 35 years old on a mini bike. He even parked in front of, I guess he was trying to be tough. And I stood out on the sidewalk and we locked eyes. I'm looking at him like, nigga, he gonna stand out there and get on the phone or something. I don't know if he was, and he's smiling and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this nigga and I'm like, yo, I could do an Alan Rickman. But at the time, I'm not thinking about that. I'm like, I'm just sizing up who you are. Because I'm telling you, most people ready to take a bullet in the face because they think they can get away with just talking slick. You can't really. You can't talk slick. You definitely can't put your hands on motherfucking people. Have you lost your goddamn mind? This country's losing its mind because the people that are in the leadership positions are telling them they can do these things. And they're going to get people killed and injured. They are.
An attorney pleading guilty to stealing more than $500,000 from 6 children whose parents died in a murder-suicide. Karen Hogan.
Now, this story is going to make you want to throw up. Listen to this.
Raised on back.
Hold on, let me go back to it.
An attorney pleading guilty to stealing more than $500,000 from 6 children whose parents died in a murder-suicide. Karen Hogan was the executor of the estates of Jason and Emily Evans, the couple who died. Investigators say that she opened bank accounts under their names and then listed herself as a joint account owner before transferring money from those accounts. Hogan was charged in Kendall County last January. She now faces up to 20 years in prison, and Texas state bar records indicate that Hogan has surrendered her law license.
Can you believe that?
Evil.
An attorney.
And that was reported by the homeboy RJ Martin on TikTok as well. RJ, thank you for that report. So you got attorneys now that represent you and represent your family. Now check it out. This is a trust, a person, not the word trust, but she's a lawyer that handles people's, properties and monies after they pass away. And this is what she decided to do. She decided to change all of the prerequisite information of these kids' dead parents into her name so she could collect all of their assets after they died. Now, what made her think she was going to get away with that? You're already an attorney. You charging $400 a piece of paper. That's what they do. They can charge you $400 just to look over a contract. All these billable hours these attorneys get, and she's doing that. That don't even make any sense. You guys make millions and millions of dollars, at least thousands. If you are a terrible attorney and you get one case, you can bill your client so much money even until they drop you. They could be like, this guy's terrible. Whatever hours that you bill them, at whatever rate you bill them, they still have to pay you, even though they dropped you as an attorney. So, but you decide you're going to absolutely steal from your clients. Make that make sense. And this is the reason why we got this guy in office.
We were planning tomorrow.
Hold on. Let me get rid of this.
We were planning tomorrow after
I'm gonna get rid of that,
lines.
and we're gonna hear
I'm a
this.
big fan of Elvis.
Who isn't, right?
I just left Graceland with President Trump, which he was touring for the first time ever, nearly exactly 69 years after Elvis Presley bought the famous estate.
Now, this motherfucker's got us at war. And what do you think he does? He goes and plays golf in Florida at Mar-a-Lago. And then he takes Air Force One and flies it to Tennessee to visit none other than Graceland, where Elvis used to live.
In his hometown of Memphis, a place he long called home and was eventually his final resting place alongside several members of his family. The president entered.
Who doesn't love Elvis? Everybody loves Elvis, right?
As he got a tour of where Elvis recorded music and lived a lot of his life in between his shows on the road and his time in Las Vegas. The president went through the living room, through the kitchen where Elvis would go and have breakfast. And he also went to the infamous Jungle Room, which was famously decorated with furniture that Elvis's father said that he hated, and then Elvis went out and bought the entire collection the next day. At one point, the president was asked to sign a guitar and a gold Sharpie. He tested it out before he did and then held up the guitar for everyone to see. He talked about Elvis, saying that he lived a complicated life and praised him.
I love Elvis.
As he saw other mementos of times when Elvis crossed paths with the president, including the gold belt that he wore when he had that moment inside the Oval Office with President.
That's your president. Your sons, over 100 people have died out from the military in the Iran conflict. He's lying and saying he's at the table with the Iranians, talking about they're bending the knee to the United States because they're terrified, and they've given them 15 points that they have to reach in order for this war to stop. And the Iranians have called back and said, we ain't talking to him. He's lying through his teeth. He's full of shit. We have the control of the Strait of Hormuz. Nothing coming in, nothing going out. Fuck what you talking about. And this piece of shit is at the Graceland where Elvis Presley's memorial is and where he's died. And his bitch ass is sitting there drawing and writing his name on guitars. Why are you signing autographs in Elvis's house? Elvis ain't even alive, and you're autographing guitars in his house. While American citizens are not only suffering, and some of us not even eating and being able to buy groceries for our kids and our homes, or put gas in the car to be able to go to work, and you sitting up here signing autographs with gold Sharpies while people are dying in a war that you started. Make that shit make sense. That's your president.
Well, I think we're going to end it. I can't tell you for sure. I don't like to say this. We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country. They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it. It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say, it's a close battle. It's not a close battle. Well, I think we're going to.
Do you hear this, motherfucker? Do you hear this, son bitch? It's making my ears fucking itch. That's why I'm in my ear right now. He's a lying. I ain't never seen nobody lie like this. I have never seen little kids. My son used to lie. I used to be like, did you do that? No. You didn't. You're the only one in here. You didn't break that. No, they didn't break. He's saying that. My son used to say that because he was terrified. He thought he was going to get a whooping. And if you did break it, I'm like, look, man, a lot of times admitting what you did wrong will lead to you not getting spanked and just getting put on punishment. Go to your room for a while. Don't come out. It's not that big of a deal. Now, you've gotten spanked before for certain things and you've deserved it. But I'm telling you, out of fear and frustration, do not lie to me because you're not always, the lying will get you whooped. And after that, he understood. He just tell me the truth. He be like, yeah, I did that. That I'm sorry. I'll be like, see, yeah, man, look, don't come in here and touch that. Don't do that. You know better than that. Now go on in your room. Don't turn the game on or nothing. Just go in your room. And it save yourself from getting punished. This dude lies like there's no fucking tomorrow. This nigga lies like there's no fucking tomorrow. He doesn't give a shit about you. Donald Trump, if you were a prisoner of war, and that's a white person too, if you become prisoners of war, he's going to leave you over there until he feels like he wants to get you out of there. And 9 times out of 10, his bitch ass can't get you out anyway. He couldn't negotiate his way out of a fucking hefty bag.
You want to know the truth about the war, about Iran, about the attacks? Here it is.
The United States on the opening day of the war fired 4 cruise missiles. The third site that they struck, they noticed an accumulation of human beings, people running to the site. And so they ordered the 4th missile to strike. The 4th missile went up, came down, and hit. The missile is designed to penetrate with a bunker busting capability, but there's an additional factor to this missile. Our brilliant weapons designers have concluded that the excess fuel in a Tomahawk missile at the moment of impact can actually be weaponized into a thermobaric weapon, a fuel-air explosive. And so they hit the button, turned the excess fuel into a thermobaric, and the people they saw running were the children who survived the initial attack. They went to the prayer hall with their teachers, and they asked the parents to come in and retrieve their children. Parents are on their way. So the movement you saw were survivors going into the building, teachers with them, parents come to them, and we put the 4th cruise missile in there, turned it into a thermobaric bomb, and burned these children alive.
The United States government is one of the evilest. The United States as a whole, as a country, is one of the evilest places on this planet, and has been for many, many years. And that's where we've been living. Ask yourself, why does it always feel so heavy in the United States? Why does it always feel everybody is so depressed? Everybody running. You can't go to the store and see a happy face. These white people's faces are not just white people. Ask yourself, when you go out today, go be on the subway, go to the store, just go to places. People's faces are sliding off of their fucking heads. People are so sad all the time. This is before Trump. This is even in the time when this country seemed psychologically sound, it was all a facade. There was a lot of shit going on in the back and in the back rooms of businesses and the back rooms of state capitals, federal buildings. A lot of stuff was shielded from the American people. So back in the 60s and the 70s, and even in the roaring 20s, when people used to be dance, 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 they would keep people inebriated. They would keep people joyous. They kept people going to clubs. They kept people happy, partying all the time. They'd go to work, party, oblivious to all the things that this country was doing, in essence, to solidify its place in the world. The United States has killed millions and millions and millions of people. That's why this place is so heavy. That's why everybody looks so drained. That's why people go to an early grave. They're eating fucking terribly. They're eating bad food. They're drinking too much. They're medicating themselves from the bullshit of this world and the things that go on. That's why everybody's so sad. The women are so sad these days that they can't be in a relationship unless the man makes so much money to where they got to be able to buy and do and fly and go any place that they need to go just to get away and feel like they're human beings. This country is the worst country on earth. I don't give a fuck about comfort. I don't give a fuck about certain people having money. You go to their house and they got this beautiful pool. I know motherfuckers with tens of thousands of dollars, beautiful homes, and them motherfuckers bitch more than me. And it ain't necessarily about them having money, and they bitching about other shit. I'm like, and I always throw in, well, shit, at least you ain't got to complain about money. Money ain't everything. Money ain't shit. Money ain't that. Shut your bitch ass up. The only reason why you bitching about all this other stuff is because you got money. I'll be telling them all the time. Do you know how many people I would cut off if I had your money? Do you know how many problems I wouldn't have with other human beings if I had your money? Other people wouldn't be an issue. They'd be an issue to themselves. They try to project whatever bullshit that's going on in this world and in their lives onto me. Nah, I don't think so. The problem is this country's priorities have always been fucked up. Therefore, all the civilization and all the civilians and all the people in the country, guess what? Their priorities are going to be fucked up too. The blind are always going to lead the blind into fucking oblivion. That's just how this shit works. If you look, everything this country stands for is what's the word I'm looking for? Diametrically opposed to the goals that the United States is supposed to stand for, which is freedom, access for people from other countries that are downtrodden. If your country's dogging you out and you want to leave it and come to America, that's what this place used to be about. But see, it's all built on lies. It's not built on all of that shit they wrote the Declaration of Independence on, all that shit they wrote in the Constitution, all that shit they wrote in the Bill of Rights is all lies. It doesn't stand for certain people. And I'm going to prove that right now. This is going to piss off my black live streamers. Check this out. This is going to piss y'all off. Listen.
The UN just voted to view slavery as the gravest crime against humanity. And guess what? 3 people voted no. You want to guess who those 3 are? The proposal was adopted with 123 votes in favor and 3 against. The United States, Israel, and Argentina. 52 countries abstained.
Yeah, you heard that right. I'm going to finish that. 3 countries voted against making slavery a crime against humanity. Let me repeat that. During the United Nations vote of over 200 countries, 3 countries voted against making slavery a crime against humanity. Guess what 3? The United States, Israel, and the country of Argentina.
Including United Kingdom and the European Union member states. So all the members of EU abstained from voting. England abstained from voting.
And don't think the UAE, the United, not the UAE, the UE, the United Europe. Don't think they abstained. They abstained, meaning they didn't even cast a vote. They did not even cast a vote. All the countries in Europe did not cast a vote. So we couldn't come back and say that they voted against it. The United States straight up sent a representative to the United Nations to vote against slavery being a crime against humanity. And that happened in 2026, a matter of days ago.
A bunch of countries abstained from voting. The rest of the world voted yes. 123 countries voted yes. That is the worst crime against humanity. USA, Israel, and Argentina said no, it's not the worst crime against humanity, and they voted no. Unlucky enough for them, 123 people voted yes, so the resolution was adopted. You know me, I gotta be an asshole. This is a blow to interracial relationships because guess what, black women, y'all be coming on the internet talking a lot of shit. Now the world has voted that the worst thing that has been done to you is from white men. Let's go and see how you gonna make this one up.
Yep.
Oh, white pasta lobster. They loved us during slavery, black men. I know. 2023, that was the whole narrative that somehow black men and white women were the ones that made slavery that bad. That was how much y'all wanted white men. I gotta be the asshole to remind y'all of that shit. So now they've ruled the worst fucking thing to happen to mankind was slavery. Let me see y'all go try to explain this one out.
Shout out to my man Isabako from TikTok as well, who made this report. And he wanted to put the narrative out there about how all these black women are dogging us. We black men catch it from everybody. We catch it from every other race. We even catch it from our own people. Black men in this country hate each other. We don't support each other. Black women support the fuck out of each other. Everybody hates black men in this country. If there's any one particular race and sex that gets dogged more than any person, any race or sex in this world, and that's black men. Everywhere we go, soon as they see our face, they hate us. I've seen people turn their nose up that's not black when I walk in the room. I don't care how fresh I look. I don't care what haircut, whatever. And they really hate it when they hear me coming, hey, how are you? And I'm very articulate and I talk well. They fucking hate us. They hate us. They only love you if the rest of the world celebrates you and uplifts you and makes you this star. I'm gonna prove it. Michael B. Jordan just won for Best Actor. Half of the world hates that boy for that. Even black people, even black women. Lori Harvey, the chick he used to date, Steve Harvey's daughter, she dumped him. They broke up. This bitch talking about him with her mother because he didn't want to accept any phone calls or any celebratory thank yous or a celebratory congratulations, I should say, of him winning the Oscar. He didn't want to talk to you. Y'all good. And obviously, if he didn't answer your call or text, you guys broke up and it wasn't cool. Go back to work, man. Have a great day. Thank you for stopping in on the Corner Store Podcast live stream, man. Thank you. Have a good day, man. Thanks for being here on your break, though. I appreciate you. It's all love. Sincere. My homeboy from Brooklyn, New York. He out of here. Go back to work. You know them crackers probably looking for you. Where he at? Yeah, man. That's the world we live in, y'all. That's the world we live in right there. This dude reported that.
The UN just voted to view slavery as the gravest crime against humanity.
Yeah. The United Nations. Love you, man. Love you too, bro. Peace and love to you. Yeah. That's the country we live in. That's the country we live in. Let me get
I'm a big fan of Elvis.
You want to know the truth?
They had a little mishap. They shot down 3 planes with our missiles. They happen to be our planes, but the pilots made it. Can you imagine making it? The pilots are always coming. And they said, those are patriots. We're not going to escape patriots. And they got out of there pretty quick, Pete, right? Pretty amazing that they got out. The 3 pilots lived. They're fine. In fact, they're flying today. They had a little mishap.
Did you just hear this sick motherfucker? That could be one of your fathers. That could be your uncle. That could be your brother. One of these Air Force pilots or Navy pilots or whoever that just got shot down. Did y'all know? Y'all didn't even know that 3 American planes were shot down. They didn't report this. Trump let that out the bag. That might have been some top secret shit. 3 American jets were shot down by Iranians, and he said that they used American weapons to shoot down our own planes, which is a fucking lie. Said that they used Patriot missiles to knock down those planes. How the fuck? The Iranians don't have no American-made weapons. They have Russian-made and Chinese-made weapons. Listen to this dude talking about our own pilots being shot out the sky.
They shot down 3 planes with our missiles. They happen to be our planes, but the pilots made it. Can you imagine the pilots making it? The pilots are always coming. And they said, those are patriots. We're not going to escape patriots. And they got out of there pretty quick, Pete, right? Pretty amazing that.
This is y'all president. This is y'all president. And I say y'all to all you pieces of garbage that voted for this shit. You let him in for a second term. It's almost like you cut the first term, you cut your toe off by letting him in office and you couldn't hardly walk. But you so fucking stupid that you told him to come back and cut your damn ankle so you wouldn't have a foot at all. Now you really can't walk. All you people out there that are still backing that play are absolutely fucking insane. Anybody who voted for Trump, I don't care about your Trump derangement syndrome and also your Trump apologetic bullshit. All these people, I'm sorry I voted for him. Please let us back in the fold. No, if you voted for Trump, especially the second time, if you voted for Trump the second time, obviously if you voted for him the first time, your whole ass came out and voted for him again the second time. You need to be removed from this country. You need to be removed from this country. You don't believe in equality. You don't believe in a woman having the right to choose what happens to her body. You don't believe in the fact that somebody might actually grow up thinking that they like men if they're a man, or a woman liking a woman if she's a woman, or a man wanting it. I don't agree with all that stuff, but the fact that they have a right to think that way is fine with me. I don't give a damn. If it ain't against the laws, real laws that make fucking sense, I don't have a problem with that. There's a lot of laws that don't make sense. There's laws in California. California having all these gun law restrictions is retarded to me. If you're going to have it like this in California, it needs to be all over the country. Why you could go to Kentucky and just buy a gun and don't need no license, walk around, shoot it in the air, everything after you buy it, but you can't do that in California. But we still follow the laws, wherever state we live in. Laws are made by men and also laws are created by people who have enough money to say, I want a law against this. There are people who have bought laws, had laws created through money and through influence because they got politicians on the local and federal level in their fucking pocket. Don't get it twisted, man. We live in a fucked up supposed democracy, and they use that word so loose. Democracy don't mean freedom. It doesn't. The democratic process is this. If we were in a society on an island with 100 people and we adopted the democratic process to dictate how we're going to live on this island, that means we vote about everything. If somebody said they wanted to climb a mountain to get a better vantage point on that island for us, and it was dangerous, we'd all take a vote. Not only would we take a vote if that was too dangerous, we'd also take a vote on who would be the person to make the climb. That's what that's what that stands for. Do you think they do that here? No, they don't. If they did, when you go to court and you black, you would only get the time that was supposedly supposed to be the time for the crime you committed. There's people who stolen candy bars and got 20 years that was black. And then there's a fucking white dude who raped a chick by a goddamn dumpster and got caught trying to sexually assault her. The motherfucker, you was caught raping somebody and the goddamn judge gave the motherfucker an ankle monitor and gave him time served and gave him home arrest. Where do they do that? In the United States? This place ain't gonna never be equal. Ever. Never, ever. I don't give a fuck if you put Gavin Newsom as the president. I don't care if Kamala Harris would have became president of the United States. This place still will never be equal for blacks. It don't matter who's in office, woman, black, Asian, a motherfucker from Aladdin's land. I don't give a fuck. This place ain't gonna never be equal, ever. Forget about it. Stop asking for that. You better equally get your fucking money right and create your own utopia in this fucked up country. Yeah, you can make enough money to where you could go buy you enough land in a state and create the biggest motherfucking land utopia. That's the only thing that this country respects is money. The only thing this country respects is money. The only thing this country respects is money. Period. Get that through y'all heads. $3 billion aircraft shot down by so-called Iranians who don't even have no weapons, but they shot down $1 billion planes that don't supposed to get shot down. Come on, man. This is America. This is America. With 3 Ks. Yeah. Now, before I get out of here, listen to this.
There's breaking news in the war in Iran. Iran rejecting President Trump's 15-point plan. Iran insisting there are no negotiations taking place. Tonight, President Trump surging forces to the region, including up to 1,500 troops from the 82nd Airborne. And now even some Republicans are expressing concern tonight about possible American boots on the ground in Iran. Rachel Scott at the White House tonight.
Tonight, Iran flatly rejecting President Trump's 15-point plan to end the war, insisting no negotiations are taking place, despite what the president says.
They want to make a deal so badly.
But Iran's foreign minister today declaring there are no negotiations with the enemy. Iran sarcastically asking if Americans were negotiating with yourselves. Despite the clashing claims, sources tell us the two sides are trading messages, using Pakistan as a go-between. Iran aware Trump's overtures come as he surges military forces to the region. Up to 1,500 American paratroopers from the Army's 82nd Airborne Division now on the way. The president has not ruled out putting boots on the ground. Tonight, even some top Republicans sounding concern.
My hope is that we do not have boots on the ground.
In a new Quinnipiac poll, just 34% of voters approve of how the president is handling Iran. 59% disapprove. Gas prices up more than $1, with the average price of a gallon soon expected to hit $4. That number even higher in some parts of the country. The rising cost of fuel now causing airlines to raise ticket prices. The CEO of United Airlines telling ABC News customers should expect an increase of roughly 20%. And tonight, for the first time ever, the U.S. Postal Service is preparing to roll out a fuel surcharge on package deliveries, probably around 8%. For voters, it's all adding up. That new poll showing only 38% approve of how the president is handling the economy. Another reason the president may be looking for an off-ramp as this war enters its 5th week.
This man has put us in a position to where not only is he going to have to take over that whole country over there because they're not going to stop. He's going to have to kill all the Iranians. There's only 85 million people over there, some shit like that. I'm like, how they got all them fucking people in that country? There's 80-some million motherfuckers. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, nah. This place is a joke, man. This is a fucking joke. Let me tell you something. The United States of America has lost its fucking mind. It has lost its fucking mind. And hopefully you won't lose yours and you understand that there is a difference you can make in this world. And that difference is on a personal level. Make sure you pray every day for the salvation of not only your family, friends, and neighbors, and whoever you consider your day one, as well as everybody else in this country. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this place has got us all feeling the same way, feeling just like this.
It's just...
Yeah. 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 Speak. You made your vote, you think it count? Then check, you cash it, shit, then bounce. Egg prices really high. Damn. You worried about it, look to the sky. Damn. Praying by your bed at night. Damn.
The pressure's on, the shit is tight. Damn. Your life is wrong, you living right. Damn. You wanna leave it all tonight. Nobody can help you now. Don't try to call out now. You screaming, begging, asking please. Yeah, or praying down on your knees. It won't make a bit of difference. It won't make a bit of difference. You think you're safe, think you're fine. Yeah, lose your sanity, lose your mind. It won't make a bit of difference. I'ma holler at y'all. It won't make a bit of difference. Next Tuesday on the Corner Store Podcast. You think you safe, think you fine. Lose your sanity, lose your